Hi there. When a business tries to implement a change management strategy, it will often come across resistance to the proposed change. And why does that happen? Well, some important research by Kotter and Schlesinger identified what they thought were the four main reasons why change is resisted. So let's have a quick look at what those four reasons were. It's not the case, of course, that any one of these four will necessarily happen. And it could be the case that more than one of them happens. More than one of these is a reason why change is resisted. So let's quickly look at the four different categories identified. The first is self-interest, and this really is all about the perceived threat that individuals, employees or groups of employees feel as a result of the proposed change. A threat to potentially their position in the organisation, to their job, as well as potentially to their financial rewards, their financial position. And of course we can understand this. Any change that may result in people losing their jobs is by definition going to create uncertainty and potential resistance. So self-interest was the first of the four reasons. Kotter and Schlesinger also identify what they called inertia and low tolerance to change as a reason why change is resisted. Inertia is that feeling that you'd rather not change, you'd rather keep things as they are. And of course that's a powerful force in the organisational culture of many businesses, particularly if the business has been successful. Why change? Why not just hope that things might get a little bit better? And of course it's also the case that if change has been implemented in the past, perhaps recently, there could be a lower tolerance of a further change in the organisation. Change is a pretty stressful experience in a business. If you've been through it once, it's perhaps more likely that you'll resist it the next time around. The third cause of resistance to change was different assessment of the situation. And this really arises from disagreement between those who are proposing the change and perhaps those who are impacted or affected by it. There's disagreement about, firstly, the need for change, and also possibly about what that change needs to be. Now that's different from self-interest. It could well be that the individuals concerned recognise the need for change and are not too concerned about their own situations, but they disagree about the strategy. And finally, the fourth cause of resistance to change was what was called misinformation or misunderstanding. Misinformation, perhaps because they've not had the right information to help them assess the position, the reasons for change. But it could also be a misunderstanding, that they've been given information but they've not yet made the connection between that and the rationale for the change management process. And this really is a failure of communication in the business, and every organisation, I think, would admit to failures in the quality of communication, particularly between management and employees. So there we go, Kotter and Schlesinger's work on the causes of resistance to change. Four of them: self-interest, a different assessment of the situation, a low tolerance for change and inertia, and misinformation and misunderstanding. The two theorists then went on to identify the ways in which that resistance can be overcome, and that's the subject of a separate revision video.